What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another Manchester City video. Today we're going to be doing my Manchester City transfer update. We are rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the whole January transfer window for you guys to stay up to date with here on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. Social media links, they're in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. We smashed 600 likes on the last video, so let's add another 100 likes onto that and go really ambitious. 700 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated, and do let me know your thoughts as well in the comments below. So we've got no contract news to speak about, so we're going to dive straight in with the outs, and we've got the latest on Issa Kabore. And Werder Bremen have agreed a deal to sign Issa Kabore from Manchester City on loan until the end of the season. This has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, who has given this transfer the here we go. Issa Kabore was recalled by Manchester City last week from his loan at Benfica. That was due to limited playing time, so they're hoping that he's going to be able to get more playing time in Germany. And of course I will keep my eyes and ears open with how Issa Kabore is performing when I get round to doing my Manchester City loan reports, which will be done during the March international break, as I do every year. Now moving on, of course, we've got our daily James McAtee update, and Fulham, they're keen on signing James McAtee according to the Mail. Adding on to that, Newcastle's interest. We've heard that Nottingham Forest are interested. We know that Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Dortmund are interested. I reckon there must be at least 10 teams interested in signing James McAtee from Manchester City, and Fulham are the latest to declare that they are keen on making this signing happen. Now they feel like this window is the perfect time for them to make a move for James McAtee, with him having just 18 months left on his Manchester City contract. They want to offer him guarantees over starting opportunities, which they feel is their unique selling point, and they think that they can offer that may just be enough to convince James McAtee to leave Manchester City this month and sign for them instead. McAtee wants more first team opportunities at Manchester City. He wants to be getting more minutes, he wants to be getting more starts, and he's starting to get more minutes, but he's not really starting Premier League games for City, whereas Fulham, they might be able to guarantee that. So we will see what happens. Remember, I'm convinced if James McAtee is still a Manchester City player by the time the January transfer window does close, that he will sign a new contract at City, so he doesn't end up going into less than a year left on his contract, which is what would happen in the summer. And of course his value will decrease from there. At the moment, City looking at somewhere between 20 and 25 million pounds for James McAtee. Now moving on to the ins, we've got the very latest on Matheus Cunha over at Wolverhampton Wanderers, and despite plenty of interest from him, Manchester City are just one of numerous clubs interested in bringing Cunha into the club. Fabrizio Romano has said that he's now set to sign a new contract at Wolves. Verbal agreement in place, said it's almost there and it's going to end the immediate speculation on his future. However, I do imagine that these clubs, maybe including Manchester City, if we haven't brought in an attacker by the time that this window is shut, that by the time we get to the summer, these clubs will be coming back in for Cunha. And him signing a new deal works really well because it guarantees that he stays at Wolves in this window and they'll have him until the end of the season, and also guarantees that Wolves will be able to get an even better price for Cunha if he wasn't to sign that new contract. So I think that's the direction that that transfer is going into now. Moving on, we've got the latest on Omar Marmoush, and if you remember me saying over the last couple of days to take a lot of things with a pinch of salt and just tread carefully when you're dealing with sources that we've not really dealt with before, and there's not been anything really that solid put on Omar Marmoush's links with Manchester City. Well, we've had some reliability put on this story now. So firstly, Florian Plettenberg was reporting yesterday morning that no talks have taken place between Manchester City and Eintracht Frankfurt for Omar Marmoush. He says that they've received no offers and Marmoush hasn't asked to leave the club. No surprises there, as nothing is going to happen if Manchester City do want to make a move until they've got personal terms agreed with Omar Marmoush and his camp. So City would speak with his camp first, get an idea of what numbers they're looking at, strike up a contract, get verbal agreements in place so everything's ready to go, and all Marmoush would have to do if we went in with an offer to Frankfurt would be to sign on the dotted line. They get all the paperwork and everything all ready and in place before they'd even speak to Eintracht Frankfurt, and it wouldn't be Manchester City that would speak to Frankfurt, it would be the agent who would earn his agent fee from this transfer who would speak to Frankfurt, negotiate the deal for Manchester City before City would come in with an offer and open up official negotiations with Frankfurt, which obviously, with some reports saying this deal was being close to being complete and things were going to be moving very quickly in terms of this transfer, it just isn't the case, and that doesn't surprise me if I'm being completely honest. I have heard some murmurs, unofficial, nothing with anybody's name put on there, but I have heard some murmurs that Omar Marmoush does want to stay at Eintracht Frankfurt for the remainder of the season, and Manchester City would still be keen on signing him in the summer, and isn't being ruled out that City potentially could get all their agreements in place in this window for Marmoush to join Manchester City from July 1st. So they'd have a deal agreed for a date which would see Marmoush stay at Eintracht Frankfurt but join up with Manchester City in the summer. Right now, I'm still not going to rule that out. How close or what's happening with this deal, I'm not entirely sure. If I'm being completely honest, this is quite a strange little saga. It's not being done in the normal way, and I think Aage, Fjortoft has added fuel to the fire here as well by adding on last night that Marmoush will not leave Eintracht Frankfurt in this window. He says that Frankfurt have their own aims for the season. He wants to stay. He doesn't want to push for that exit in this window. He does want to leave apparently in the summer though, should a good enough offer come in from some of Europe's biggest and best, including that of Manchester City. Has been linked with a move to City. Tottenham Hotspur's name's been put out there. Liverpool's name's been put out there. Arsenal as well as some others from around the globe. How true this is though, I'm not entirely sure. As I said, Jan normally deals with things that are involved with Norwegian players, so he was very reliable when it came to news on Erling Haaland. Obviously had good input and good knowledge when it came to that transfer with really good contacts, and it may well be the same here for Marmoush. I have no reason, to be honest, to doubt Jan with everything that he said previously has turned out to be true, so I imagine this to be true as well. What I am saying though is I'm not entirely ruling out City getting a pre-transfer agreed for the summer, potentially even coming in this window. Something's moving, something's happening. We're just not entirely sure what, because loads of different sources are saying different things. UK sources are saying nothing's close, no talks are taking place. Germany is saying no talks are taking place, he stays, nothing is definitely going to happen. Egyptian sources are saying that it's definitely going to happen, so I'll keep my eyes and ears open. As I said, strange little saga this one, but of course I'll keep you guys up to date every single step of the way with all transfers involving Manchester City, including that of Omar Marmoush. Now, moving on to the final transfer, I want to speak about Abdukodir Khusanov over at RC Lens in France. So, the 20-year-old centre-back from Uzbekistan, apparently, according to Ryan Taylor at The Mirror, Manchester City are being kept informed on him. We already know this. They are aware, Manchester City are, that RC Lens need to raise funds this month. So Manchester City like Khusanov, they would like to make a move for him, they like his versatility, they like his speed, and Manchester City think that he could develop over the years into a top centre-back, available for around £20 million. This is a very doable transfer for Manchester City, and at the moment, everything does seem to be pointing towards City wanting to make a move. And I know a lot of people have been watching compilation videos of Khusanov, and he is a rapid player, so I think he'd suit Manchester City's very high line. I do have some questions about his decision-making, but of course, if he's got the best facilities with the best coaches around him, I'm sure, give him a couple of years, I'm sure he'll develop his game and mature into a very good top centre-back that's ready to do a job for Manchester City. At the moment for Manchester City, it's about having fit, available options, players for the future, players who are of the right age, players like Khusanov, 20 years old, ready to come into the first team, to compete with the first team without expectation that they can be given enough time over the next couple of seasons, because that's how long it takes to adapt to life in England, in Manchester, and get used to Pep Guardiola and his tactics and used to the Premier League. I think Khusanov could be a really good bit of business business. £20 million as well, very affordable for Manchester City. It would make sense. City being kept informed. We're not the only club interested, but the fact that Fabrizio Romano has already spoken about it, doing some emojis, teasing things, he'll be speaking with Khusanov's agent and his camp, very keen to make the transfer happen. And I think Khusanov is very happy to be linked with a move to Manchester City. And if City decide to make a move, I think it'll be a really simple transfer for Manchester City to get done. So we will see if there is more movement from Manchester City in this transfer market. Very, very interesting window, this one. I'm expecting City still to do some business. 1, 2, maybe even 3 players. We will have to wait and see. A defender definitely on the case. Khusanov, a player of interest to Manchester City. So there we go. That has been today's transfer update. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. Remember, 700 likes. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. Less than 600 subs now away from my goal of 40,000 subscribers. Any help towards that would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.